Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to update my OSSC open source scan converter. I've just removed it from its enclosure here. I purchased this quite some time ago. Basically, it's my VGA to HDMI adapter. It works extremely well at very like DOS resolutions. It works not so well at high resolution. So if I have like 1080p going through VGI to HDMI, I think someone said this doesn't have enough sample rate or, well, anyway, enough juice to do that. But for lower resolutions, this is just great. This is OSSC version 1.7. I believe it's running firmware 0.7. We'll check in a second. And the developer of this, I think his name is Marx, if I'm saying that right, with a Q. Some time ago, he started like revisiting the firmware, and the new firmware is 1 point something. I can't remember what the latest version is, but it's 1 point something something. And there's a thread online where he says anything below 1.7 can be upgraded with the latest firmware, but we need to do a little modification on the board. There's a resistor to remove up there, and a little wire that goes from one or the pads of the resistor to this little chip in here, which is very, very small. I understand that this update doesn't come without downsides. There are some features which are not present anymore. One for all, I think, is like the ability of saving profiles. I really never use profiles with this thing, but yeah, it's definitely something that can't be done anymore. And I believe that by removing that resistor, we are losing the red LED functionality. I'm assuming it's probably using the LED signal to drive something else. Now, this came from AliExpress, and there's a little note on the frequently asked questions where it's kind of risky to update like a third-party OSSC, because you never know, it might have something proprietary on it. So chances are we might be able to brick it with the update. But there is a little note and says to identify this little flash chip here. And Marx is mentioning that if this chip is one of the two listed on the thread, it should be safe. And this is indeed one of the two. It's a IS25LP016D. So hopefully we are in luck. And by the way, I never realized that this OSSC has an SD card reader. So this is how we're going to perform the firmware update. I also understand that I could do the firmware update straight away. It's just not all its features are going to work without the modification. So what are we doing first? Are we doing the modifications or are we doing the firmware update? I would say maybe let's do the firmware update, because if I brick it, there's no point in doing the modifications. Let's go either way. Well, first thing first, let's turn it on and see what kind of firmware this is running. And this is running 0.90A. It only happens for a split second. I'll just pause it in post-production. But it says 0.90A. So yeah, it'd be nice to go to the 1 point something version. So let's download the latest firmware. Let's try and update it with the SD card thing. Make sure it works, and then we'll move to the hardware modification. To flash the firmware, I'm going to use this little SD card with an adapter into my SD card reader here, and I'm going to my computer. I found a list of firmware here. We are going down to 1.12, and there are two different extensions. One is, I understand, is with the Japanese translation, if I'm not mistaken, and this is 1.12 with the audio enabled, and my OSSC definitely has audio. So let me download this file. And now I move to Win32 Disk Imager. It's a very old software. I don't know, it's what what's being recommended apparently. I guess you can also use Rufus or something else. I'm just going with this. H is the SD card that I've just plugged in. And I'm gonna look for my OSSC update file. Here I have my OSSC file. You have to select all files, not just the image file. Click on Open, and this is ready to go. Click on Write. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe my device. Write successful. It's a very small file. So that should be it. Now I can plug my SD card in the OSSC, and that's it. Let's remove the protection here. I've never done this before. There you go. And let's turn it on. Okay, and now I'm using my remote here. I'll go into, where is that, settings options, and then scroll down. There should be a firmware update section. Where is it? Firmware update. Okay, validation data. There you go, 1.12 old. So that means it's been recognized, hopefully, as a valid firmware. Update 1 yes, 2 no. So I'm pressing 1 on the remote. Updating firmware, please wait. Verifying. Firmware updated, please restart. Well, that's a good start, hopefully. Let's restart, power off, give it a few seconds. Power back on. Yes, 1.12a, fantastic, well that was simple. Yeah, but it doesn't go any further than that. Is he actually working? Yes, okay. So it stays here now, it doesn't go on to anything else. Is he actually working? I don't know. Well, it's not crashed. I can see this, it's okay. It looks like this is the main screen now. I don't know, unless it needs the hardware modification to show something else. I don't really know, but it seems to be working. It's not crashed. So happy days. Let's move under the microscope and we'll do the modification that Marks, the developer, I wouldn't say recommended, but required for this firmware to run on this board. Right, this is the resistor that needs to be removed, R35, this one on the left hand side. Now this you see here on the right hand side is the LCD screen, which can't be easily removed, so we haven't got much space. First of all, I'll have to turn this around. There we go, so at least I have space here from the right hand side. And I need to remove this resistor. Rather than removing it, I think I'll just solder it on one leg only, so it's there, but it's a 331, what is that, 3,333, 330, something like that. Now I never use hot air when doing those things, especially now I have this is the display, so probably I would damage the display or whatever. I'm just using a little blob of solder. I always found that to be more convenient. I have a small tip available. Let me just put some flux in here, so I need to remove this one, yeah. I'm going to apply a little blob of solder, number one, because this is going to be leaded solder, so it has a lower melting temperature. Number two, there we go, I mean, it's coming off already. Number two, because again, it will make a blob and it will transfer the heat more effectively. So let me try and remove it first. There we go. Where did it go now? Where did it go? That's interesting. Is it? No. I lost it. It's not on my soldering iron. It's not on my tweezers. Or is it? No. Oh, is it inside here? Oh, I'm gonna melt my desk. No. You went, I don't know, it disappeared. How is that even possible? Ah, look. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And he just did it by chance. Look at that. Oh, I was not expecting that. So I thought I lost it, but actually it's standing on the pad, which I don't need. So this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought I'm gonna struggle to just leave the resistor there, but clearly no, it worked totally fine. Happy days. Right. That's amazing. Let's clean nearby. Do I actually need to clean? I don't know. I mean, anyways, it's not a bad idea without breaking the resistor. Okay, and yeah, I basically need to attach a wire to that pad, to that free pad. And let's see where it has to go. My understanding is it needs to go from that pad down here to this pin here, the last one on the left of the screen. So let me grab a suitable wire and we'll try and do that. I might need to grab my smaller soldering tip, which is really small. All right, this is the wire that I have selected. It's the smallest one I have. It's single core, so it's not stranded. I think this is fine. It's very, very small. Let me see if I can show you on camera. There you go. It's really, really thin. It looks great. It looks big under the microscope, but it's really thin. So first thing first, I want to remove the solder. That's going to be leaded solder. I don't like leaded solder. I know I've just cleaned this, but let me see if I can easily remove it. Probably unnecessary, don't get me wrong. And my desoldering wick, it's kind of on the big side. Big size. Yeah, but anyway, this should work. There you go. That's it. Very simple. Now I'm going to reapply a little bit of leaded solder here. So it's ready for the wire. And let's remember I have the resistor in the way. There we go. Alright, and now let's see if we can apply this piece of wire. Again, it looks gigantic, but it's really, really small. Let me see what I can do here. Nope, it's not even touching. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that worked. Maybe I want to be a bit fussier and just make sure it's laying down. I think this is fine, so it's not, the metal is not touching anything. Let's give it a quick clean. Right, now let's try and route that wire where it's supposed to go. And it should be soldered there. So I will definitely need my smaller tip, because I think this is a bit too big. I mean, it might work, yeah. But I have a smaller one which would be probably perfect for this occasion. Let me swap it real quick. That's it. This is really small. I never use it because it's too small. So let's zoom in a lot. I need to see what I'm doing. Little bit of flux. I know it will look a lot, but it's a tiny amount. And now is don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm using the wrong hand, but I'll do my best. It might take a few tries. I can't see the pin now. Let me melt the flux a bit, so make it a bit clearer. I think I want to pre-tin this wire. It's just not going to be easy to show you, but maybe here. There we go. It might make things a bit easier. Okay. Well, that's not bad. When I purchased this tip, I was like, I wasted my time. I'm never going to use this tip for anything. But yeah, every now and then I use it. But it must be something really, really, really small like this. It has zero thermal mass, so it doesn't do much. Well, I'm not entirely sure about this solder job, so maybe I want to pass it again, see what happens. Right, I think it's better. The jacket has melted down a bit, but I think this is much better than before. Even though it's not completely straight, but it's fine, it's not touching anything anyways. Yes, now I can see that the solder has definitely melted. Okay, well, this should work. I guess we need to try it somehow. Right, I don't think that modification would prevent the thing from working, but it makes sense to just power it up, make sure it works. Yeah, 1.12. Again, it doesn't move away from that. I'm hoping it's expected. We have the green light and the red light is not going to work anymore. Well, let's test it. I'll get some VGA something and I'll plug it in. All right, I got my capture device plugged in, which is an Amazon dodgy capture device. So it works whenever it's raining outside. Let's turn this on. I should see a test pattern. Or at least I used to see a test pattern. I don't see anything. That's not good. But it could be a different behavior of the firmware, or it could be that my capture device is having one of those days, which I've seen it so many times. Ah, that's it. Yes, it was just Windows just saw it as a different device. So yeah, it is working. Now I got under my desk an MS-DOS computer. It's my Pentium, I think it's a AMD K6 something. I haven't turned it on in quite some time, so who knows, does it work? It's the one that I tried to upgrade on the first channel. It took me like a month. But let's turn it on and let's see whether we are getting anything. Okay, let's turn it on. But maybe I want to also plug the VGA cable. Do we get anything? No. Am I on the right input? Probably not. So let's turn this to input. I think it's input 3. There we go, 70 Hertz. Yeah, it works. And it looks very good. Amazing! This worked! This absolutely worked! I'm so impressed. Oh, Windows. Oh my gosh. No, we don't. I forgot I have Windows on this thing. I thought you wanted. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. It's definitely something. I haven't got a mouse. How do I turn this off now? Sorry, Windows. I mean, just out of the box, MS-DOS looks absolutely amazing. Let me see if I can get... This is Windows, so Windows 98, I still have MS-DOS on it. Like this one, for example, is not perfect. It needs a little bit of tweak, but it's always been like that. It needs a little bit of tweak. There's plenty of menus here, and it's just a matter of finding what works for your resolution. Oh, you can see that on screen. Amazing. And as you can see, it looks like this setting is probably the best one. The text is really, really sharp, and it's really amazing. Command prompt, that's it. Yeah, it looks amazingly sharp considering it's a, a very vintage machine going into a modern PC. Right, but that is really not the point of this video. The update worked, and I want to say it was pretty straightforward. Well, it's straightforward if you have the tools. I would say with the normal soldering iron, soldering on that chip is going to be quite difficult. I don't want to say impossible, but quite difficult. This one is simpler, just you have to remove the resistor, and not the end of the world, but this is pretty small. You can see from the size of my hand, everything is pretty small in there. But that's it, it's working. Thank you, Marx, if I'm calling you right, for developing this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. This has always been working fine with lower resolutions. I would say it's one of the few tools that I purchased that it's working. It's just working, let's put it that way. Sometimes you have to fiddle with some settings every now and then, but it works totally well, and I'm pretty happy with this. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little, call it tutorial, call it whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to upgrade it. I just wanted to do this modification, and I thought I'll do it on camera. It looks like hopefully someone can learn something from it or do it by themselves. The links for the firmwares are going to be down in the description. Also the link to the discussion, the thread on, can't remember which forum, where Marx is explaining all the differences and what was going to do with the new firmware. So thank you for joining. Please leave a thumb up if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, well, you know what to do. I'm on Facebook, Patreon, buy me a coffee, whatever you want to do. Even a comment, to be honest, is enough for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. See you soon. Bye bye.